What's up, you guys? Recently, LisaRaye revealed that she wasn't told that Da Brat was having a baby with her fiance, Big Booty Judy, and she saw it on social media just like everyone else. LisaRaye appeared on Raquel Harper's podcast, It's Tricky, and revealed she was surprised to find out Da Brat was having a baby on social media. Before we get into the details of that, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content, and click the bell to all so that you're notified of all of my videos.
Oh, I was thinking also, Da Brat just said that she's having a baby. How do you feel about her having a new baby?
Wonderful.
You really excited? And do you know the gender at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like looking, I'm like, oh, I seen her just do the news recently. I'm like, oh, okay. Did you find out through the news or did you guys talk about it already?
I found out through social media.
That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It takes me back. It takes me back. Because I'm sure that you have heard of the last kind of encounter that we had that went viral. Have you not?
Well, no, I was watching your Ricky Smiley interview. And I was watching your Ricky Smiley interview when you called up and they were talking about they had something. You called up sometime early in the morning.
No, this one happened on Cocktails with Queens. And she came to say happy birthday to me and surprised me. And we hadn't spoken in so long. And I ended up having to, I guess that what they said, cussed everybody out on the show. Because she had came out. And I'm getting interviewed and people were like, oh, how do you feel about your sister coming out? And I'm like, coming out of what? Because I'm thinking I got to say some more politically correct type answer because I don't know what they're talking about. And there was a whole life that was going on social media that I just really didn't know nothing about. And I just felt slighted, And so when I saw her, it was like, oh, you got time today, huh? Oh, today you got time, And I felt, what I thought was anger was really hurt. And I had to process that. And since then, we talked about it. And I was like, yo, I know you grown, you know what I mean? But
where's the heads up?
I'm like, I wanna marvel in your happiness, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? That's what it's always about.
There's a link below to the full podcast episode, and it's a really good conversation. So make sure you click on the link and check it out later. LisaRaye was surprised Da Brat didn't tell her she was having a baby after the two seemingly made up at the engagement party / birthday party that Judy threw for Brat. So it seems like even when it looks like Brat and LisaRaye have gotten back on the right track to the public, there is still a disconnect between the two of them in private. And we're going to get into that in this video since Ayanla Vanzant made it clear what that disconnect was when LisaRaye went on her show for the second time. And it looks like things haven't truly changed between the two of them since Ayanla called it out.
When did she get lonely?
When I had to share my father.
With
the other family.
Yeah. And it made her feel?
I felt angry.
Yes. Good. Yeah.
Helpless.
Helpless. Frightened. Was she gonna lose Daddy? Yeah, let it come up. Let it come up, yeah. So why are you upset with your sister?
My upsetness is actually, my feelings is hurt.
Okay.
When she came out to the public, I know that she's going through a transition and stuff, that she have a new relationship. But this particular relationship, I haven't heard anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. And then when they tried to surprise me on my show, I was shocked. I was surprised, shocked.
Surprised or shocked at what?
That she had even agreed to come on to say happy birthday. And then she said, we've had some distance in our relationship. And then when she said that, it was like, I don't even know how to be fake about this. The girls kept egging it on, my co-hosts. And then for me, it was like, y'all don't know.
The question that I asked you was, what caused the breakdown, or what is the breakdown between you and your sister? And
I
you
told
said,
you, I said,
my feelings were hurt.
That's my emotion, yeah.
That does not sound like hurt feelings, Miss Lisa Ray.
I didn't say it was at that particular time. At that moment, that was anger speaking.
Okay, come on. I'm gonna put you on the sofa and I'm gonna go to my chair. I just wonder how much of what happened in your relationship with your dad goes on in your relationships with other people. How about because of his behavior, everything feels like a betrayal to you? How about that? And I think you see and hear betrayal in places that it doesn't even exist. Because betrayal will make us angry first. Your mouth is saying it hurt my feelings, but that was a betrayal response.
In case you didn't know, Brat and Lisa Ray are technically what some people call half-sisters because they share the same father and not the same mother. Lisa Ray is the daughter of David Ray McCoy, a Chicago businessman, and Katie McCoy, a former professional model. And the Brat is the daughter of David Ray McCoy and Beverly Calloway, a professional driver. Their father, David Ray McCoy, has been described as a millionaire playboy because he had relationships with other women while he was married to Lisa Ray's mother. And apparently, the Brat is a product of one of those relationships. Lisa Ray's mother reportedly stayed married to her dad until he was killed in 1988, despite him having other women. And I want to share this article from the Chicago Tribune that was written in 1988 about their father's murder with you guys so that you can get a sense of the type of person that their father was. David Ray McCoy was an astute and successful businessman, a self-made millionaire who in turn lent millions of dollars to others wanting to start neighborhood businesses on the South Side, according to police. Friends and associates said McCoy provided jobs to many in the community. He was an inspiration to young blacks who wanted to be businessmen, said Spencer Leak, a neighbor and executive director of the Cook County Department of Corrections. But McCoy, who was 52, also had a reputation for being tough in his business dealings, said Lieutenant Philip Klein, commander of the Pullman Area Violent Crimes Unit. And Klein said family members told detectives that McCoy was involved in several business-related quarrels before he was found shot to death this weekend in the back seat of his 1988 Cadillac. There are too many suspects, Klein said, because a lot of people would have a motive based on the arguments he had over business dealings. Klein also said that though McCoy was a legitimate businessman, some of the people he dealt with had criminal backgrounds. An autopsy disclosed that McCoy, who was found slain in the backseat of his car Saturday evening, was shot 3 times in the head. Police said McCoy was a paraplegic as a result of a gunshot wound he suffered in 1968 when 3 bandits invaded the apartment of his sister. According to Klein, McCoy typically would conduct business in the front seat of his Cadillac because he was unable to move from his car to an office on his own. However, their father wasn't killed by a disgruntled business associate like police initially thought when that article was written. It's been reported that his then 32-year-old live-in girlfriend of 10 years, Sheila Daniels, and her then 20-year-old brother, Tyrone, were convicted of McCoy's murder in 1990. Sheila received an 80-year sentence and Tyrone received a 60-year sentence. So their father was killed by his own girlfriend, who he had been with for 10 years while he was still technically married to Lisa Ray's mother, Katie. Lisa Ray shared with Ayanla Vanzant that she felt betrayed by her father because he had relationships and children with other women, and she didn't want to share her father. She was a little girl that was in love with her father, and she didn't want to share him. And she felt like he betrayed her by having whole other families. And in my opinion, for him to be killed by a woman that he had an outside relationship with had to feel like betrayal as well. And according to Ayanla, Lisa Ray approaches all of her close relationships expecting to be betrayed, and anytime something goes awry in her relationships, she interprets it as betrayal, even if it's not, because she's programmed to expect betrayal. So it seems like Lisa Ray interpreted Brat not telling her about her relationship with Judy as betrayal instead of what Brat told her it was, a decision not to tell anybody because she didn't want any feedback, good or bad. Check out this clip of Lisa Ray saying that Brat told her she wanted to do things a different way without telling anybody about what she was doing and just doing things on her own. You can hear Lisa Ray accept it in one breath and then turn around and say that's not how we do things. We meaning their family. And so in the next breath, she rejects it.
And she gave me a great explanation. She was like, I just wanted to do this on my own. I didn't want anybody's opinion, whether it was good or bad. I absolutely wanted to just step back from everything and just do this. And I said, that's great. Had it would have just stayed between y'all, but it's on social media too. I am too, but that ain't how we do. So I felt a little slighted. So, since then we talk about it.
So on the podcast, you hear LisaRaye kind of going back and forth with herself on how to interpret Brat not telling her she's having a baby with Judy. She's happy for her, but then she still says she feels a way about not knowing about it until it was put on social media, even though Brat already told her that she's doing things differently and she's not telling even her family and friends about her relationship decisions before she tells the public. You can hear LisaRaye wrestling with that fact, and it seems like Ayanla was right. She may have been right about Lisa automatically processing things as betrayal when sometimes it's not betrayal. The Brat not telling LisaRaye that she's having a baby is not really betrayal, especially since Brat already told her that she's not going to be telling her about her relationship decisions in advance of sharing it with the public. Brat already told her that. But you can tell LisaRaye is still having difficulty not feeling betrayed by Brat's decision.
That's interesting you said that too, though, that you even brought that question up, because I felt it when I saw the post. I was just like, oh, wow. And I said to myself, and I tried to give an excuse. I said, well, you know what? That's how they wanted to announce it, And then it made me say, but if I wasn't on social media, would I have found out? And because I don't look at social media that much, that isn't how I found out. Someone brought it to me, like they brought everything else. And so it was just like, oh, well, do I wait until I get the memo? And do I act like I don't know? You know what I mean? Or do I go, hey, I found out and what's happening? Or congratulations or whatever. Or do I wait till I see you?
So sadly, it looks like their sisterhood is still troubled because one sister is setting new boundaries for her own reasons, and the other sister is having trouble accepting the new boundaries because of the trauma that they've both experienced. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about LisaRaye feeling a way about not being told personally about Brat and Judy having a baby. Do you think LisaRaye will be able to accept the new boundaries Brat has put in place one day? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.